Good morning, India. Thanks for being there at Spirits Achievers Award and Conclave, and I am sure that you have enjoyed a lot. Also, people who weren't present there but watched the event live must have enjoyed. Now, I present this week's news highlights on Spirits TV. I am Shalini Kumar and here are the latest updates from the world of alcoholic beverages and hospitality. Let's start with policy related stories coming from different states. Rajasthan government has provided relief in penalty and guarantee targets of Rajasthan made liquor stock. Earlier to this announcement, if the required stock was not sold, the liquor vendors had to pay the difference amount to excise department. Now, the department has reduced the targets from 50% to 35% for liquor vendors to purchase Rajasthan made liquor. Relief has also been provided on interest and taxes to those liquor vendors who have failed to meet the guarantee targets of Rajasthan made liquor in the last 3 months. The traders who have not been able to meet the target of selling in April, May and June will be benefited. South Delhi Municipal Corporation has directed the Municipal Commissioner to survey and verify that all the new liquor vends opening in South Delhi comply with the applicable norms and also directed sealing of those liquor vends which are found not to comply with the applicable norms and standards fixed by the civic body. The norms include payment of conversion of charges and old property tax returns, completion certificates, building bylaws and licensing norms. The Maharashtra state government is planning to permit the distillation of indigenous liquor using cashew fruits, mahua flowers and other traditional crops. This will be a separate category of liquor and the state government will ensure all required support. In 2019, the Maharashtra government had decided to charge a nominal excise duty of ₹1 per bulk liter as a duty on fruit and honey wines. Earlier, there was no such tax holiday for these fruit-based dessert wines. Another report from Maharashtra says that the state government is likely to consider the new draft wine policy for the state, which will replace the existing wine policy drafted 20 years ago. The new policy will come into effect from January 2022 if approved by the state government. New wine policy is expected to levy 10% excise duty on wine sales, 50% of which is proposed to be used for the development of the wine industry in Maharashtra. The state government will also consider the industry's demand to allow sale of wine at supermarkets, permission to sell wine on dry days, lowering of legal age for drinking wine to 21 years and demand for permission to sell wine on e-commerce platforms and through apps. The Chandigarh UT Excise and Taxation Department is planning to digitalize the process of obtaining various clearances including liquor license for bar, weddings, etc. in the Excise Policy 2022-23. The excise policy for the financial year 2022-23 would be effective from 1st April 2022. The operations of Tamil Nadu government run TASMAC liquor outlets and bars attached to them have reverted to pre-COVID timings of 12 am to 10 pm. The operations TASMAC outlets went through several phases during the 1.5 year long pandemic. Initially, they were shut by the Tamil Nadu government in the wake of the pandemic. Later, restrictions were relaxed and the TASMAC outlets were allowed to function on all days except Sundays. From July 2021, the retail liquor outlets in Tamil Nadu were permitted to operate from 10 am to 8 pm. From 1st November, the standalone bars attached to the TASMAC retail liquor shops were also permitted to operate. Globus Spirits had participated in a tender floated by oil marketing companies for supplying ethanol for the period commencing from 1st December 2021 till 30th November 2022 at various locations across the country. Globus Spirits has been allocated as per its offered quantity of 9.68 crore litres of ethanol from its 3 manufacturing units in Bihar, West Bengal and Haryana. The unit located at West Bengal will initiate the supply once commercial production at the enhanced capacity commences. Now, let's move on to some interesting stories from across the world. Tollywood actor Raghu Karumanchi has recently ventured into the liquor and wine business. It is learned that Raghu, who recently participated in a liquor shop auction organized by the Telangana government, has taken over 2 liquor outlets. Lacking opportunities due to the coronavirus pandemic, Raghu went to his hometown during the lockdown to grow vegetables. He leased another 10 acres of land to cultivate vegetables on a large scale as they brought in a good income. Raghu started the liquor business with that money as he was making good profits in this business. Queen Elizabeth, the oldest living monarch in UK's history, has not completely given up on alcohol even after being advised by her doctors to ditch the daily martini. According to a news report, Royal Sommelier Dimitri Walters revealed that the 95-year-old Queen continues to enjoy a glass of wine with her meal despite being told by doctors to cut down on alcohol. Doctors had previously advised the Queen to avoid alcohol on special occasions in order for her to remain as fit as possible for her hectic schedule. The Last Drop Distillers is offering the opportunity for one successful bidder to work alongside its master blender Colin Scott to create a completely bespoke blended Scotch whisky of at least 35 years of age. This is an opportunity to craft a totally unique expression under the tutelage of the master blender Colin Scott, who has nearly 50 years of industry experience. This personalized blend will need to be a true reflection of the individual's tastes and preferences, creating a one-of-one whisky impossible to replicate. The Global Drug Survey 2021 report revealed that Australians drank more than people from other countries in 2020. Survey conducted with responses from more than 32,000 people from 22 countries. Findings of the survey showed that on average, Australians reported getting drunk 27 times in 2020, the most out of any country in the survey and well above the global average of 15 times. On average, respondents said they got drunk 14.6 times a year, so a bit more than once a month. Australian respondents got drunk about twice a month, whereas those from Mexico reported 8.9 times in the last 12 months. Let's celebrate some new launches. Speyside Distillery, Glenmorangie has unveiled a UK exclusive whisky finished in ex-Meninzanilla sherry cask as the latest addition to its Warehouse One collection. Glenmorangie's Warehouse One collection is named after the Elgin-based producers Warehouse One, which is home to innovative maturing casks. The resulting liquid offers notes of sweet, ripe pears, green apples, and freshly cut grass. Glenn Murray said Manzanilla is the driest of all sherries and is produced along the sea estuary of the Guadalquivir River. As such, it is said to offer taste of the sea. It is bottled at cask strength, 54.6% ABV, non-chill filtered and with natural color. Bimber Distillery has launched a 12-year-old pure malt whisky which has been given an additional maturation in ex-Bimber cask. The whisky named FG12 has been created by the London-based distiller after sourcing single malt whiskies from both the Highlands and Speyside, sourced and matured for a minimum of 12 years before being blended and then given an additional maturation in ex-bourbon casks. The resulting pure malt blend has been bottled at 46.3% ABV with no coloring or chill filtration. The initial release of 25,000 bottles will be available soon worldwide and will retail at £59.95. Another remarkable initiative by a company to cut down carbon footprint. Ukrainian vodka brand Nemirov has converted the majority of its company documents to electronic form as part of its sustainability efforts. Nemirov will be operating with digital signatures for documents in its transition to electronic processing. The new business plan will cover 4 areas: technology, data, talents, and organizational leadership. A kiosk containing a computer has also been set up for those without digital access in order to maximize electronic working for all employees. Nemirov has converted almost all personnel, accountancy, and reporting documents to electronic form, including contracts with partners, and carried out an assessment of which company documents were necessary in physical form. With this, I wrap up today's edition and I will come back with new updates next Friday. Till then, stay safe and say cheers with care.